So Mourinho came in. How do you guys feel about that?
I think it's actually good for the sport, man. It's good. It's good for the Premier League. It's good for the sport in general. I mean, it's good for soccer. It's really good.
You don't like him?
I don't. Do I like him? No, I don't like him. I don't think it's good at the way that they put it.
What do you mean?
Because like, that was a good team. That other dude had worked hard for them to get to this level. Because they really weren't anything before him.
No.
And so he worked hard to get to this level.
I mean, they were a decent team, but they
were
like
not like.
They weren't Man City,
they
Liverpool.
made it to the Champions League finals, like
right.
No, they did.
That's huge.
Playing well. They were playing well too. It wasn't like
huge.
It wasn't like they got lucky
right,
out of nowhere.
Right. So it's like, but then again, yeah. So it's like, they did all that. He did all that because
Pochettino. What his name was?
Pochettino.
Yeah, if you think about it, like he did all that for them to then just be like, all right, we're gonna get you out, and yeah. So I think he got screwed over at the end of it.
My thing, I actually didn't follow the whole thing. Obviously, I heard that Mourinho's back. They won 3-0, by the way, for the ones that live under a rock.
3-2, no?
Was it 3-2?
Yeah.
3-2.
The final score was
last
3-2.
minute. Yeah.
Oh wow, they were winning 3.
They were winning 3-0 in the first.
They were up by
half.
3 in the first half, and then oh wow.
That is correct.
Was it up by 3?
Yeah.
I don't think it was 3.
They were winning 3-0
in the first half.
First half.
All right.
That's crazy.
So if we check and it's not, then what?
You can hit me.
All right.
Wow.
Because I don't think that's what it was, but yeah. So I feel like that.
What happened to the other guy? I mean, why were they like losing every game, or like what the hell was going on?
They weren't doing as well as
I don't know what position they're in, but they weren't doing well. So.
They weren't doing as well as they feel like that they should have been doing. Yeah, you guys are right.
I was right, right?
You're right. You're right. Yeah, I mean they weren't doing as well as.
What do you guys think about Bale?
They're still in ninth. They're in ninth place.
Yeah.
Which
that's pretty bad when you're trying to be like a.
It's bad, but I mean it's still early in the season. You still got several months. I think they'll end up in even though I don't like that, I don't really like them, the special one, blah blah, whatever you want to call them. But I feel like they're gonna end up. I'm thinking top 5 for sure, maybe even top 4. Honestly.
At the end of the
with
season.
him now?
At the end of the season, yeah.
With Mourinho in there.
With Mourinho,
yeah.
I feel like he just makes it happen somehow. I don't know. I don't really like his tactics.
The defense.
And the defensive style of play. When you have offensive-minded players, it's like it just doesn't add up. But hey,
yeah,
he'll get it done somehow. Trust me, and he'll be in the Champions League.
That's a nice.
They have a good team.
That's a nice
they have
group.
a good team. Yeah.
They have a great team.
He said like that. He's lucky enough that he has the group that he has. I mean, going from Man United to
him saying that.
Going from Man United to that's like.
Yeah, but him saying that and then him actually imposing his game and everything, he's gonna make that happen.
Yeah,
I think
it's different.
How do you feel about Bale in that situation? What happened with the flag that he was?
Yeah, no, I mean that's just plain disrespectful, honestly.
But don't you think the club disrespected him first? He wanted to leave, and he was right because he's not
honestly,
playing
right now. I know. It goes back down to like this whole politics of like sports and just I think in general, it's like listen, if the player wants to leave, just let the guy go. I mean, why are you holding him back for whatever extra reason? He's gonna keep bringing you money. He's gonna be selling jerseys because he's he's that type of player. It's like just let the guy go. Honestly, same thing with James and same thing with those type of players. Just let them go. Let them be happy whatever they want to, whatever team they want to go to.
But those are two different players because James he didn't want to leave. They asked him and he stayed. He said he was going to stay.
I think he actually, there was at one point over the summer he actually wanted to leave.
No, he was at.
They didn't allow it though.
No, he was at Bayern and he came back and they were like,
that's because but that's actually because Bayern. I read the whole thing. That's because Bayern didn't want to pay.
Well, they didn't want to pay.
They didn't want to pay 40.
To buy him out.
They actually said we don't want to pay 40 million. I think for a player, they actually said for a player that wasn't even going to start with the new coach.
Right, but Zidane told him like you're in our plans, and he was like, all right. This is my dream. I want to stay.
But that's the thing. This is your dream, and it's like for you. It's like will you actually do the same thing if you know that you were already there
And you didn't
for a
even
whole
play.
year and a half. He didn't even put him on the bench for the Champions League final. It's like, that's super disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, one of your top players, like, what are you
did it.
doing? The one guy that actually sold more jerseys, listen to this. This is a huge stat. He actually sold more jerseys. Oh, no. Ronaldo obviously sold the most ever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then he was second, right behind him.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's crazy.
The
I mean,
Colombian
think about
fan
it.
base is big. I think, yeah.
The Colombian fan base, but I think just in general.
People
the,
like
the
him.
fan base in general. People like him. He's a great player, and
Pablo Escobar, all that.
Yeah.
No, but I think, I don't know. With big clubs like that, like, our mindset is like, well, if they want to leave, just let them leave. But big clubs like that, they're not like that.
They don't let people do
They
it.
want to screw people over. They want
That's
to
messed up,
like,
honestly.
bail over. They want to end their career, put them in the bench, and say, like,
yeah, but
You're not
why?
gonna-
What's their
'cause
whole
that's how-
reasoning behind that?
because that's how messed up they are. They've always been like that.
You think
Honestly,
they've always
Real
been like
Madrid
that?
has always been like that.
Yeah, no, Madrid has.
Think
Yeah.
about it.
It
That's
has
why
been
they
like
want to
that.
be stacked. They want to get all the players. They want to have a second team on the bench of
In case
superstars.
something. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah,
I guess,
they've always
yeah.
been like that.
Mm.
Unfortunately, that's.
Mm.
I think Barca is one of the teams that they're not really like that, because they can't.
I think they're actually starting to lean.
To do
They're
it.
starting to go towards that route. They're
Yeah.
leaning towards that route,
Yeah,
honestly.
they did that with
But
Malcolm,
it's just they're not.
Coutinho.
But they're
Yeah, I
not
mean,
smart.
Coutinho, Malcolm, what are these guys? They're great players. And it's
They
like,
sold them.
But now, do you think that
well, they're
that's?
on loan.
Do you think that you don't think that that's a coaching thing? Because with Guardiola, I feel like they would have been different players. But then again, you can think of like the other players that they used to have, like Thiago. When he was there, he was pretty. He was
And they
there.
let
He
him
was
go
one
in.
of the. He was really good. He was a prospect, like huge.
Right. Who else was? They had a bunch of.
They had
players
good
that
players.
Look what happened
were-
to a clear example, Arda Turan from Atletico.
Yeah.
When he was at Atletico, he was one of the best players, I think, in general,
Right.
all over Europe.
Yeah.
Like literally, he was running that whole Atletico team, and he got into a couple Champions League finals and everything against Real Madrid, and Barcelona got him, and it's like Barcelona like kill his career. I mean, literally
Nah,
kill his career.
They did ruin
And now
him.
the guy's like he just kind of lost his mind,
Isn't
and
he
now
going to prison?
he's facing like a couple years or whatever it is, and back in Turkey. It's like just it's crazy how your life can change and
Oh,
like
that was but that was dumb of him. Yeah.
no, I'm not saying it was because of Barcelona, but
Yeah.
might have influenced.
I mean,
Like
it's the same thing. Ibrahimovic also
But he
went
got-
there.
yeah, and then he got ruined, yeah.
kind of for a little bit. Then he left because he was
he
nasty before.
but he was
went
he was
there.
smart. He said I'm out. If you're
Oh,
gonna
no.
if you're gonna shit
Yeah.
on me, I'm out because like he's just that
He
type of
went
player.
there, he did his thing for a little bit.
He's not
He
gonna
saw
let
that
it
wasn't
right. He's
gonna
not.
be like
It wasn't
that,
gonna work out, and
and he bounced.
he said Messi
But
was.
now he's coming back to AC. So
I think
shout
it was
out.
Messi's.
He noticed. He noticed who was.
Shout out to Milan.
He noticed who was the real boss in that
Messi.
team.
Yeah, Messi basically runs that.
And Messi, greatest player ever.
You think he's gonna stay forever?
Not forever. I mean,
Honestly.
he'll be there for a couple years, and then he'll go back to Argentina or something. I think.
Yeah, he did say.
I don't think he'll be there forever. I mean,
Hopefully he comes to the MLS.
Messi.
Suarez is talking about MLS.
I
That'll
think.
be
really?
interesting.
Yeah, I think they're all gonna go.
That'll be interesting.
Didn't Messi say he wants to go to the Argentinian club again though?
Yeah, like Newell's boys or
all
something
of
like
them,
that.
yeah.
Like where he
I feel like
retired.
he-
Right.
Wants to retire
He would,
Yeah.
yeah. But it'll be interesting to see like Suarez.
at the MLS.
You think
But it's
Ronaldo?
trash.
You think Ronaldo eventually will come to MLS?
Hmm?
Did he mention anything like that or no?
Nah, no.
Oh, he'll just
But
retire
Suarez
in
did.
Europe and then that's
No,
it.
he probably if they pay him enough, yeah, he'd probably go to LA.
Yeah.
I think Galaxy is one of the few teams that would take
That would pay him.
That would
want-
pay him,
That would
actually, I don't
that
think-
would have
What about
enough money.
that new team? What's Beckham's team?
What? No,
Miami?
actually, I heard there's actually like 2-3 teams coming up next year. Inter Miami FC.
Yeah.
There's North Carolina something. There's another one,
Right.
and then there's another one on top of that. I think there's a couple more. MLS is definitely growing. but
Hopefully they incorporate the relegation.
that would be
They're not
nice,
going
actually.
to. They're never going to.
You don't think so?
Ever.
Cause
That's a strong.
no,
hold on,
but
that's a strong word.
They're not
Never.
going. Cause think about
Very
it, like
strong.
how the U.S. goes. They goes by the other sports. NFL doesn't have that. NBA doesn't have that. So if they don't have that on those two and baseball, they don't have that. So if they don't have that on the three biggest sports here, they're not gonna do it for soccer. That's why they have it like that, because the other sports are like that. Because they don't have really a team that will go down and whatever.
So you think it was
They
this,
were
it,
thinking. They have been thinking about it, to try to see USL and MLS, but the teams in the USL are not strong enough
To compete.
to compete. Not just to compete, they are strong enough to compete. There are a few teams that are strong enough to compete, but to like have the stadium size that they have in the MLS, they're not.
Yeah, it's
like
not
that.
something that's gonna happen
So
overnight.
it'll be tough. Like
But do they need that stadium size?
they probably do.
Why?
Because can you imagine if a New York City FC went down?
So
then it's like
2000, like
then it will go like on their home games they'll be crowded. But then can you imagine New York City FC fan base going to another another MLS USL team?
Yeah, but isn't that what like
It
happens in like the Prem when like small teams get promoted? They got small.
But small teams in the Premier League is like a MLS team.
right, that is
Seriously,
true.
like
No, yeah, it
no
is.
joke.
But I mean,
Even a third division team
Third
is
division
like
team is like-
MLS.
That is true.
Because if you look at all the divisions that there is like in Europe, South America, they go up to what, like fourth, fifth division?
Yeah, it goes
and
up
even
big.
then, because people are crazy for the sport.
yeah. Well, I mean,
They actually feel the sport.
USL, like, I think Queens is gonna get a new team.
that
I heard.
WBA team.
Oh,
Right.
that's the Queensboro FC.
Yeah, so they're gonna get that, but until you go down to like I think to North Carolina or something that have the USL teams, up here and in other places like they're not as big.
Right.
The USL teams are not as big, so it will never. I honestly don't think it will ever happen.
No.
If anything, what they will do is they will allow USL teams to move up, but no teams are gonna
Yeah.
move down.
I don't like that word. Never. I think it will happen eventually. But not
It
not
has
in the very near future. I think maybe you're talking about like maybe 20 years down
They
the
will
road,
have to, but
30 years down
but
the
they will
road.
have to build.
Yeah, but
divisions.
They'll get it done. I mean, it'll
At
get
least
done.
3 or 4 divisions.
No, I think
At least
about
think-
two.
at least.
to
Well, you need 2 for
incorporate
no, you need 2 for
relegation.
sure. So 2 for sure, and maybe they'll
But
put
what-
another division.
The other countries that have this type of setting, this type of like relegation and all of that, 2 divisions wouldn't work because then in US, like let's say USL and MLS,
Right.
if in USL they're in last place, then what? You just stay there.
I mean,
Like no,
Pretty much.
because in other countries,
No, it
what-
would have to be 3 divisions.
right. Because in
That's
other
hard to
countries,
do.
like if you
So
suck
like
in the
Spain,
second division,
Spain you
go
could
down. You keep on going down.
Spain you could end up in like the 6th division.
Right. You
It's
keep
like
on-
crazy.
keep
You
on
have so
going
many
down.
teams. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
But that's what I mean. That's why it works there, and over here it's not gonna work because they're not gonna have that.
And it's actually
It's just-
crazy that
It's
like
all about the fan base as well.
Right.
How big is soccer really in this country?
I mean,
And like
it could get bigger.
like Ibrahimovic, like Ibra said,
go back to watching
go
baseball.
back to watch baseball because that's what it is.
I mean,
It's that mindset.
Mm.
I feel like Americans are always gonna have that mindset until NBA and NFL really have that there is such a thing as relegation and all of that.
yeah.
I don't think
They're
they
not
will
gonna-
though. And
they're
NBA
not.
and
No,
NFL, I
no,
don't think
they're
they will.
definitely 100%
That's what I'm
they
saying.
won't.
They're not. So they're not gonna switch that. If anything, they're gonna add on things from other sports. Like they added the whole VAR thing. All
Right,
of that
right.
comes from the
Or-
NBA, comes from the NFL.
Right. Or they'll obviously we see it now. They're gonna keep growing the MLS itself. So how many teams do you have now? What is it, like 20? I think it's 20. Oh, actually no, I think it might be like 18 teams.
Something like that.
Let's just say 18. So I think eventually it'll probably go up. They might go all the way up to like 24 teams or something,
Yeah.
right? And then just kind of keep it like that maybe.
Because their whole structure, like I said, is based on the other sports. Because even like the whole playoff scenario, like
That shit sucks.
there is no such thing in other countries.
Right.
It goes by points.
Yeah.
You know.
What is that?
Because you know how
playoff,
over here they have the playoffs.
Like the
Right.
So
East
you
and
play
West.
your whole season and you're trying to qualify to the playoffs, like
Right.
the top whatever teams.
Which is
qualify
pretty
to.
ridiculous
Which
because
is just like the NFL, which is like the NBA.
Right,
it's
right,
all
right.
of that. In other countries, like how is it? It goes by points. If you
Yeah.
got the most points at the end of it, you're at
You
the
win the
champion. That's
team.
it.
you're in the
They're not
playoffs,
gonna
right?
have. So it's like that mindset. Getting Americans from that mindset of like playoffs, of no relegation and all of that is just.
But I think
Unheard of.
eventually, if they do set up the relegation and all that stuff, it'll just make it. I think
I think
think
once that
much
happens, then it'll take off.
It'll take off in what sense?
Like the sport's
Because
gonna get bigger.
it could be good and bad.
It'll get bigger. I think
It could
it'll get bigger.
it could be good and bad. Because can you imagine like a big? We're not talking about a small team. We're talking about a big team. Let's say like LA Galaxy.
Right.
If they get relegated to the second division, that fan base will go away.
I don't think it'll go away.
You think so?
No, I mean it doesn't. It doesn't go away
Soccer-
with other sports, like back in Colombia and Argentina.
But that's,
back
but
in,
that's
but
because
that's
we're passionate
Yeah,
about the
they're
sport.
passionate.
Over here, it'll be like, well,
no, but like some teams, honestly, they're very passionate. I see it in the
Yeah,
MLS.
because
So
there's-
like not
because
every team, but like Atlanta,
no,
and
for
they're a
sure.
brand new
No,
team.
they're definitely.
Seattle, you will never see Seattle's fan base like disappear, even if they get relegated.
But that's because they never have. It has never happened. But can you imagine if that
No,
happens?
that's true.
Because then what is it that they lose? Just like in other countries, you lose television time.
That's
You
true.
lose all of that you didn't have before. And you gotta. It's like starting all over. You gotta build yourself
Right.
up. Because then over here in this country, they're gonna think, all right, so like we got relegated. Now we're nothing. We gotta start back up.
Right.
Let's go watch other sports. In Brazil and Colombia, there's no such thing.
Yeah,
Fans are fans, and you're
Fans
gonna
are
stay
fans no matter
fan
what.
until-
They could be in the
right.
6th division.
Because you watch your team get back up, and you want your team. So
I agree.
I don't know. I feel like this until like I don't know. The U.S. is never gonna change their mindset about like soccer.
I think they will, honestly.
They're never gonna see
eventually.
soccer. They're never gonna see soccer as like.
But they have to see it like it's a.
I
it's
think
a
as you
growing
start getting
business,
no,
too.
I think as you start getting more,
It's growing.
obviously, kids that are born here, but their parents, like our parents. Well, I was born in
Immigrants?
Colombia, but like immigrants, and once those people start getting into the business itself, they might start changing everything just because they
But
they see
they
how.
already have that. When they had the U.S. national team, when they had
No, I know that's
they
true.
had that good coach from Germany.
Right.
Then he started getting a bunch of German Americans, and everybody was like, it was going towards that direction, and
Right.
everybody was like, no, we need all Americans born here.
That's
we can't
true.
have so. And since U.S. women's team is the best one, soccer is seen as a female sport in this country.
I don't know.
Do you feel like I feel like if the man's team was really good, was the top one, then it would have been seen, all right, like this is where the sport is at, because it's a females in this country.
Hey, listen,
really,
props to them with what they've done.
The
over
women?
the last
Yeah, no,
100%,
no,
over the last
oh.
decade or whatever,
Right.
maybe even
They've been
longer.
killing
but
They've been killing it, and
but
maybe
that's
the
what-
men should learn from them. I mean,
right, no, for sure, but that's
Step their game up.
He's not being political. I know what he's trying to say.
but that's what I'm saying. Because
No,
this
100%. I
country
agree.
thinks like that. They see soccer as it's a female sport. That's what this country sees, because
It's possible.
and then the other the thinking behind that is like, why are we gonna invest in that if the men's are trash and the women's are good?
I think once they move away from the political aspect, that the men's team could be better. I
Right.
think there's a lot
But-
of politics to get in it.
Yeah.
Of course, but politics are always going to be there. Politics aren't going anywhere.
They're not.
Everything's run based on politics. In general.
Yeah, realistically.
Right? I mean,
they're not.
100%.
Right.
They're not going
Especially-
anywhere.
Yeah, but especially in the United States.
United States, sports, just anything in general.
Because there's a lot that has to change. There's a lot of mindset that needs to change, and they want to be different from other countries.
Right.
That's
They
why
don't want to
suck.
be right.
Right, that's what it is. Because
exactly
they don't
what I
want to
mean.
grow.
'Cause
They
they
don't
don't
want to
wanna
grow.
grow.
They're,
Right.
you know what?
And growing.
It's already bringing them a lot of money as it is, which I
Right.
think it is. I mean, enough money for them to be, I guess, content.
Yeah.
But I think if they were to like change some things, I think it'll actually bring in a larger profit. I don't know. I think they could actually increase their margin of
I
profit.
think so.
We're like a seasonal sport. It's the only time the nation is really behind watching the United States national team play, specifically men, is when it's a tournament.
In the World Cup.
Right.
If they make it to
Right.
like the
Right.
if they make it to like the
Friendlies.
round of 16 or something like that.
Friendlies,
Oh
things
no,
like
they don't
this,
watch that.
They don't
You don't
care.
hear people talking about it on the
right.
streets.
Exactly.
You don't see people going to the bar. Like I remember, I was
Right.
at the bar when the U.S. was playing. I think it was 2014 World Cup, round of 16. I think they were playing against. Were they playing against Argentina? Yeah, the U.S. against Argentina. And
US?
Messi just shut it down with that goal, that free kick, or Higuain. I think it was. They got kicked out by Argentina. I think.
Did they?
Yeah, and you went to the bars and it was actually fun to see. Everybody was there. I think the game was at like 12 and people took off or they did a half a day from the offices.
Yeah.
So it's just things like that. It's like that's fun, like you know. But you're right about that, Matt. It's like that's really the only time that people actually step up
Right.
and you know contribute. I mean, honestly.
And it has to do with competition too. If you look at the teams that they have to go against to qualify, like
Terrible.
It is bad.
I mean, no disrespect to other nations and other teams, but it's like
terrible.
it's terrible.
It is, yeah.
There's literally like no competition.
And they
honestly.
still struggle.
Well, look at what happened. Clearly,
They still
look at what happened to the 2018 World Cup.
Yeah.
They a tie or a win would have put them through.
Who'd they lose to?
Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was terrible. I mean, no, you know what? People actually didn't even watch that game because they're like, "Oh, we're in the World Cup."
Yeah.
People I talk to, they're like, "I'm not watching that game. We're in the World Cup. I'm trying to get tickets now to go to Russia."
Mhm.
That's what they were saying.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
The
What
best.
happens? They woke up the next day. The U.S. is out.
Yeah.
They are out.
See,
Blah
that's-
blah blah.
And then once
That was
that
crazy, dude.
Once that happens, the nation,
Oh, forget it.
The whole nation won't turn on the TV for the
That
World
was
Cup.
that was a
Right,
That's
exactly.
the
we
difference.
don't see that, but that was a lot of steps back that they took.
I want to hear.
Not
I want to
qualifying.
hear Matt's input
That
on
was-
this. No, you're right.
Huge steps back.
Yeah.
No, because as soon as the United States is out of the World Cup, there goes your viewership in the United States. They don't continue to watch the
No.
and if they do, they're usually immigrants or people from other countries
Right,
who have migrated over to the United States.
right.
That's they bring soccer here.
Yeah,
We
100%.
don't, we don't invest in soccer here. We don't invest in youth, and if they do, they're probably working on it now.
No, you know what? I think they actually, to disagree with you, I think they actually are investing in youth. A lot of camps, all these little kids, that's all they want to do. Like, you hear them, like Messi, Ronaldo, all they want to do is just play soccer in school. A lot of kids, a lot of young kids,
that's
5,
good.
6, 7-year-olds. But then I think at some point, it's like the parents don't push them enough to kind of like
No.
grind it out, high school and college and
Yeah, but I also see the difference is, as a youth player in another country who has a system, soccer,
right,
or in the system or they already have a great professional league.
right.
They'll pull in kids, and then they'll pay for the kids to go to school.
Yeah, 100%. They're not doing that
They'll
here.
pay the family.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't do that here.
They don't
you
do that
have
here.
to pay to play.
100%. Yeah,
So
no.
what's the incentive?
Yeah.
Why do that if you can get a scholarship for basketball
And
or
listen,
football and get a full ride?
No, you're right about that, Matt. And the thing is, that actually brings in a factor that is like a lot of kids that actually have a lot of potential talent. Their parents don't have the means to cover the cost.
Yeah.
So they're kind of losing out on that opportunity.
Right, and then you also have athletes who have potential talent who just don't care to go and play soccer.
Right.
So it's like,
No, you're right about that. It's
I mean, slowly they're starting to. Slowly they're starting. Like, LA has, I think he's like 16, this Mexican kid.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
He was in the U17 World Cup.
Don't
Yeah?
tell me that's the one that they're
Yeah.
calling like the Mexican Messi or
I
something.
think so. They're like number 10, I think.
Yeah.
And he's
He's good.
He was in the
good,
World Cup
yeah.
for playing against
Yeah.
Brazil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he's good.
I think he was subbed out in like the
Yeah,
second half or
yeah,
something.
he's
but
good.
He
He's
is good.
He's pretty
And-
good.
There were some kids that were nice on that.
And
Yeah.
Ibra was like, you guys gotta like play him. Like Ibra saw him, when he came in and stuff, and he was like, you guys, like, he's 15 or 16. You guys gotta play him.
Yeah.
And they started playing him, and I mean,
And then
the kid is.
but
kid
the
is good,
problem-
but it's like it's that their mindset is not
Right.
like, let's give them a chance. Like
Right.
in other countries, like, if you're good, listen, we're gonna put you in there.
I think one of the biggest
Yeah, we'll actually
problems
invest in
is,
you.
Yeah,
we'll
we're
actually
gonna
invest
try
in
is
you.
the
like-
fact that it's like here you're viewed as like a student athlete instead
Yeah.
of like an athlete
Yep,
student,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
which is important. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Because in other countries, I mean, as much as like Barcelona have their school and all of that,
They do.
but they don't really care about that.
no, they
No,
They want them to play. It's
Play.
soccer first, school second.
Yeah.
correct.
Here is the other
100%.
way around.
Here's the other way around.
So
Which, if you really think about it, is that wrong? I mean, education is not a
I
bad
think
thing.
it's wrong for the aspect that we don't have relegation system.
So that goes back
Kid-
to the whole relegation.
Because kids can only expect to go pro on teams, whereas over there, in case you don't make it to the big club, you still have second league, third league, fourth.
Fourth league, so
So-
you can kind of
and it's
start
still
there and
competitive.
work your way
Yeah,
out.
and it's
right?
still competitive, and they don't have that here. And for the kids that are nice enough, they go overseas.
right,
So that's it. But if the U.S. woke up, there'll be a lot of money there. because that's a lot of money.
There would be.
Yeah,
You
100%.
know,
But you think they care about that?
They'd have to invest a little to get more.
I mean,
So it's
you know, it could happen though. But hey,
I don't know.
It's just we're coming from a mindset of like soccer being the main sport in our countries.
Right.
Here is what, the fifth sport?
I'd say probably the fifth.
Yeah,
After, you know,
because NFL is first.
NFL's first.
NFL's first. NBA
Probably got, believe it or not,
NBA
hockey's actually in there, probably
NBA
third.
and baseball is like
Oh, NBA,
right
baseball,
there.
then hockey, and then
hockey.
soccer. So
Yeah.
fifth. Fifth. Hockey might actually be up there. Golf?
Might even put golf in
No.
the soccer.
What?
No, not like
No, you're right. You're right.
I don't
Yeah.
know
No, in
about
this
that.
country,
Well, I mean,
Matt.
I'll look that up.
Matt. in
no,
the-
but I think golf is like for entertainment.
Luigi.
For like
You can actually look
How
that
can I
up if
put
you
it?
don't mind.
golf is not really like
a sport.
no, it's a sport, but it's not really like there are a lot of young kids that are like yo.
Well, I don't know.
Into,
That's actually, that could be another topic. Is
I mean,
golf
a lot of
actually,
I
kids
think
can't afford
it's golf.
it,
No, but the thing is golf actually a sport? Is it an actual sport?
Takes a lot
it's,
of
it's
mental.
an actual
I thought a
sport.
sport, it's something that actually has to do with you and other teammates
But I
and kind of contributing to
Right.
make the team better. And
No,
kind of like as a whole.
Because they also
Sport
don't they
is
have
like you're
also
just
teams?
single.
Teams,
They have
just-
teams as
It's
well.
hockey before soccer.
Really?
Ice hockey's before soccer.
Yeah, 100%.
Right,
That's
yeah.
what I thought.
After
What
that's
about-
tennis, golf, wrestling.
So soccer is like what?
It's like
10th?
fifth. The
It's like-
fifth. In the
fifth?
middle of the pack.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like golf is seen as
I don't really view golf as a
like a
sport.
hobby. And
It's a hobby.
retirement-
It's
and
a hobby.
retirement
That
thing.
you just said it. You just nailed it.
Yeah.
I think golf is a
Right.
hobby,
Yeah.
Because I don't. Yeah.
which we actually all
Do you-
practice. We all practice that, Matt.
Do you?
It's a hobby.
do
It's
you
not a
ever-
sport.
It's not a hobby.
But do you have no in the sense of so? Do you ever hear somebody say to their kid, "Let's go practice golf"?
Right. But that's more.
Like, you
that's,
don't
that's
hear it.
traditional.
It's a
You don't-
personal.
you don't
That's.
hear
I
it.
think
You
that's
don't
just a
hear that.
personal opinion. Like
You
I feel
don't
like it's a
hear
hobby. I don't think it's a sport.
Yeah, but
that's just a
like
personal
saying-
opinion.
Right, but that's like video games is a hobby, but esports is one of the biggest things coming up right now. They're still an athlete.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
They're still technically an athlete.
It's an esport. It's a sport.
Right.
You can have your opinion about it, but
No,
it's
for
a
sure.
It's
sport.
technically a
No,
sport
yeah,
now.
I think there's a lot of
I
opinions
think it
about
is, but
that.
it
Parents
could-
will say you play video games for fun. That's something you do for fun.
Right, right,
But
right.
you can make more money off of it than
Oh,
you can
100%.
in
Oh, for sure,
professional
for sure.
sports.
But
Sure.
you also have to look at a number. Like but then that leads into a whole thing that it's like, out of 100 kids, how many are actually like 100 kids could be playing video games? How many of those 100 kids are actually really good to compete and make money off it? Maybe 5.
But you
Yeah.
can say the same thing for every sport.
But there's more opportunities in other sports.
You know,
Right,
chess is
that's the
chess
point.
is a sport.
Chess
Like-
is a sport.
Like
Which I-
think about it. Like when we
I
look
don't
at
agree
when,
on that,
when we
but
look
you're
at
right.
it
I don't know though. Is it,
when we look at it like the NFL, when we look at NBA and stuff.
Poker
like,
might actually be a
I
sport.
think there's more
Right, poker?
attraction to that.
Yeah,
Yeah, poker's
those
a
are
sport.
those are sports.
I don't.
It's the
No,
number one
I-
sport in America. That's definitely an attraction.
No,
right?
I consider it a sport, but it's also a hobby.
It's
That's what
100% a hobby.
That's what's mostly
Golf?
yeah.
Yeah.
Cause you see it. Cause what is it that people like to do? Like people that actually, oh, let's go play after work and stuff. Like,
Right.
let's go. You know, oh, once I'm retired, that's what I'm gonna do every day.
It's like I don't want to go
You know what I
practice
mean?
the sport.
Like I'm saying, like
I'm
I don't
using that as
see,
a
I
hobby.
don't see it that often. That is like a dad saying to his kid, "Let's go practice golf."
Right.
Do you know anybody that says
I
to
mean,
their
I
kid?
personally do, but it doesn't mean
You
that
just-
everybody
you
who
just
can
like-
have the funds to do it.
Right.
So
It's
Well,
an
I mean-
expensive. I guess you could say
It's
it's an
an
expensive.
expensive sport.
Well,
Right.
that's actually
Like-
what it's
like
classified.
tennis.
It's an expensive sport.
tennis
It's same
is
shit.
an expensive sport. 'Cause
Tennis is an
I've had a
expensive
friend
sport.
Who's played in
Yeah.
college.
But
who's
tennis I've
played-
seen more often than like
Really?
golf.
And it's getting
yeah.
it's
Really?
big.
Tennis
yeah,
I've
it's big.
seen.
It's big in Florida.
Tennis I've seen more of it than
Right.
golf. Like golf, I didn't start really hearing
I
so
mean-
much about it until you guys really talked about it. No, I'm serious.
Until,
'Cause
Pray-
it's-
until
it's a
Pray-
big viewership though. You know.
no,
it's-
that it
it
is.
is a sport. It's a
But
big
that's what
mental
I'm saying.
sport.
Like it is. But people just like to see it because of like a Tiger Woods, because of. But it's
He's
just
an
that,
icon,
like
right?
right.
Yeah.
But it's
See?
that's why.
right.
You know what I mean? Like you don't really. I don't know. Like to me, it's just I don't really see it as like every kid's dream to play golf.
I get you. Yeah, I agree.
Right.
You know, I just don't.
I think probably out of 1,000 kids, you probably got
Right.
like 2
You get
that are like really like no, that's what I want to do. I want to play golf
right.
for a living. Like
And the ones that do are like really good at
Like,
it.
really,
So
really
it's,
good.
You know,
right.
that's
No,
what
like
becomes
Tiger
that-
Woods,
yeah,
like that type of level.
it becomes that. But
Right.
yeah.
So
I think-
personally I would consider it as a hobby. I think there's
Right.
a lot of hobbies.
So I think like going back to it, if you look at it like that, basketball, football is always gonna be
Number
even
one.
when you
Always,
look
100%.
at, even when
you're
you
right.
look at like the drafts and stuff. Look how
They're
look at the
entertaining.
big
Yeah, it's entertaining.
look at the big difference. Like an NFL or NBA draft is like a 3-4 days long.
No, you're
A
right.
soccer one is like 3 hours. That's it. Like the soccer one is just 3 hours.
But that's
Right.
because I
And
feel
it's
like
like
I feel
30
like
kids and that's it. Like you're
I
done.
feel like a lot of it is also the fact that like a lot of kids that get drafted don't really even stay in it. Like don't they get drafted like in soccer?
For soccer, yeah.
So they get drafted, and that's why it's not that because like for the NFL and the NBA draft, those players are actually going to be prospects that are going to actually be players.
They're actually gonna get a chance to
Yeah.
play in the NBA.
Right, but that's what I mean.
Whether
because
they make it or
they care
not,
more
that's
about
that's a different
Because
ballgame.
That's why they care more about that. In soccer, they don't really.
They
it's
actually
like,
invest the money into
Right,
those type of
exactly.
players.
right. In soccer, is like
They don't. They
we're
don't
gonna
care.
we're gonna take the
I
top
don't-
3 because if we look at like
But I don't
when
know.
we graduated,
I
if we
don't-
look at
right.
the top 3 from
Right.
when we graduated, which was that Morris kid.
Mm.
Where is he at now?
I don't know where.
Is he actually playing professional?
He played for Seattle for like
But that's what I think. I think what it is too is the fact, like what we touched about earlier, money. Because I think a lot of the kids that get drafted are from colleges, and not every
Yeah.
talented kid can go to
Yeah.
college.
And it's also money 100%, but then also connections.
Yeah.
I've actually known connections 100%. That makes all the difference. I've known actually a couple people that I graduated with,
Yeah.
and they had connections, and they're in the MLS right now.
Yeah.
And then couple other guys, and the couple other guys that actually didn't have the means. Like one of them actually didn't have the papers when he graduated high school.
Yeah.
He ended up going to Herkimer, and he was like one of the best to ever come out of White Plains High School. You know, and it's like he didn't have a shot pretty much because nobody.
Yeah, because that takes.
They hooked him. They hooked him up with.
That's
They hooked him up with
Herkimer.
Herkimer. The guy he went to Herkimer. He had like almost 40 goals in one season.
Yeah.
Like think about that, 40 goals. I think it was actually 35 to be exact.
That's another thing. It's
That
like
they take a foreign spot.
Yeah. Having those spots and stuff. I know in other countries they have that, but it's not like here. Here is like really selective.
Yeah.
And
I think it all comes down to connections, honestly.
Because
we had a
here they're
teammate
trying to
that-
do it that a lot of like they're trying to get more people from like the bigger leagues. So
Right,
it's like more like
right.
a marketing strategy. That's why they won't use it on like smaller guys because it's like well their name doesn't attract people
Yeah.
as opposed to like if you can sign David Villa, Zlatan.
And I think what I just mentioned, I think that also goes for like in different countries too. I don't think you'll just make it just because I play soccer and I'm pretty
No.
good at it and blah blah.
But you
I
get
think you gotta have connections, dude.
you do, but you got more opportunities there to.
I don't know about
I
connections.
don't know.
I don't know about
You don't
just got
think connections?
opportunities
because like
now.
if you look at obviously I gotta come from a perspective of like Brazil.
Yeah.
If you look at like a Vinicius, like Vinicius wasn't he
Nasty.
didn't have connections. He was nasty,
He
but
was
he didn't have
nasty?
connection. Yeah,
He's nice.
he still is,
Mm.
but he's still but
You don't
That's
agree he's
it.
nice?
Nah, he's nasty.
Lopi?
Gabigol didn't have connections.
Are you
He
being
just-
sarcastic or you actually think he's nice?
No, I can't. I'm being serious.
So you think Vinicius is nasty?
Yeah.
Crack.
Last season, this season, I don't think he's gonna play. Sadly.
He's not because, and then at the end of the day, it all comes down to like your coach. It's like
The coach affects.
how many
it too.
times, and I'm pretty sure you guys actually experienced that through college. Like it's like,
No, we had a great coach.
but did he actually play you all the time? That's the thing.
Yeah,
Sometimes
so
you kinda-
he's nasty, but I think like he's still going through his moments of growing up,
Vinicius,
and I think everybody wants him.
How old is the
Like-
kid?
19.
He's 19.
He's 19.
He's 19. 19.
I
Think
kind of
about
disagree with that. I mean, if you look at him, he's obviously grown. I'm not saying that that's it. He just
Right.
he's at his peak right now. No, he's
Yeah.
not. The guy's still growing, and he's got to
Yeah.
work a couple things here and there. But he's a monster. I think he could be one of the best players ever.
Right.
Not ever, but one of the best players for sure right
Mhm,
now.
mhm.
Yeah.
Look at what he did to Barcelona. Any other big team last season
No, he has.
that he was
the
actually
talent.
getting play.
He has
Right.
the talent.
He shut it down. I mean, if
Yeah.
it wasn't for his finishing,
Right.
he would have literally
Yeah.
scored like 7 goals
Right.
on Barcelona.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I don't know
Well,
about
let's just call it like 3 goals for sure.
Okay.
And they probably would have made it.
Because we
So
can.
he
we
has
can
to
like,
work on that.
Because we can compare it like to obviously a youngster like Mbappe, but
Right.
he's playing in France.
And he's
And
playing
from
literally,
France.
and he's from France, and he's
So-
playing every game.
There isn't like, we're really gonna see what he's all about
Right.
if he leaves PSG.
You
I
think
feel
he
like
will?
Right,
that's
because
more-
of the competition. The competition
the
in France.
competition.
the
is,
French
not-
league is probably-
it's trash. It's trash.
It's
Let's
probably
say how
my
it is.
least
It's trash.
competitive one in Europe.
isn't-
Don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, well,
Look how,
unless you start talking about like
look what they
Scotland and
look
blah,
right
blah.
now, and how they
PSG?
have looked. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're still what 33 points in front of.
what are
Aren't they a
Luigi,
lot
if you can
in front
actually
of this?
PSG.
There are a lot
we
of
want to
points
see
in front
the
of-
the table.
Yeah.
The second place team.
I hope he leaves.
PSG French league.
But where would he go?
I just want to see because I actually
That's
haven't
what
been
Bayern-
following. I haven't been following
He-
PSG much.
Doesn't he have like a
goes?
200
I
mil
just want to see if they're all
plus price tag?
who.
But I think
Mbappe?
they.
What's PSG right now?
11, 0 draws, 3 losses,
How many points do they have?
14.
And how many?
Really?
points is
That's
second
it? No,
place?
they gotta have more than 14 points.
Oh,
33.
All right, so 33. Who's the
And
second one?
Second.
Angers.
Well, how many points do they have?
24.
So like that league is done pretty much. Like PSG won the league,
That's
and
it.
and it's
Like always.
like always. Who was
Yeah.
what was that one team that actually
Monaco?
Monaco.
Right,
Monaco
but-
was the team that will always be.
Monaco's that one team that's like
They're always top 2, but
no, but they had one season they were killing it in the Champions
They
League
were.
and in the league. I
Yeah.
think they actually won the
They had
league.
Mbappe, they have
They had
Falcao.
everybody, Falcao, and then I feel like so. My thing is all right. So the next question
Well,
is
take
like,
Falcao, yeah.
so the next question is like, why do you guys think those teams are pretty much just used as a platform to grow those type of players and to kind of like a bridge to go from one team that wasn't that great to go to Monaco and then to jump to like Real Madrid or like Barcelona, or like why do you guys think as opposed to like actually holding on to those type of players and potentially being one of the best teams in the world in Europe?
Okay.
It's
'Cause
a
can
tricky
look
it's a
we
tricky
can look
question.
we can look at 2 leagues
Nah, I have an answer.
that do that.
Yeah.
2 leagues. So the French league
Right.
and the German.
German
League.
league?
You like
They
the
do
German
that.
league?
No, that they do that. Because if you think about it, like,
Dortmund?
Dortmund and Bayern. Every player that
Mm.
went from Dortmund, they
goes
went to Bayern.
Yeah.
That's true.
And Bayern always builds up. And
Right.
they become, and that's what PSG does.
That's what they do.
Or
But
they
I
send
think
it,
PSG
or like the second,
But what
the
I
second place team
But I
sends
the good
players
thing is
to-
that I think the German league is a little more competitive.
Then which one?
The
than
French.
the French. Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
Nah, I don't think there's debate.
But I think what the problem is like those are teams that are attractive. Those teams, like, you know, a lot of kids' dreams are to play at Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United, Bayern Munich. You know, though, and not just that. You know, so I mean, money.
You
They'll
think
pay
it's
more.
a money?
No, I don't think that's the main thing, but I think
So that's,
it's a big
you
club.
still haven't answered my
It's a
question.
big
though.
club. I
Like,
just
what do
said
you
it's a
think?
big club, so they attract you. I mean, every kid who grows up watching sports wants to play for those AC Milan.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
Juventus,
Nobody
Real
wants to
Madrid.
be like I'm playing at Monaco.
It could be part of like a system build-up, almost like you go to this team and then, you know, that team's looked at the big dogs who, you know, if you get onto that team, that's the first step, and then those other big, you know, a bigger team will come and look at you as a prospected player.
Yeah, it's probable.
So that
But
that
it's-
could also play a factor into that, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
situation.
There's
It's just
another
crazy.
team.
Go ahead.
There's another team like Monaco. Monaco not so much. They're kind of falling off the radar. Oh, Ajax.
Ajax.
They're huge.
Ajax,
I mean, look at Ajax last season. You know what? Ajax last season, 2000 what was it? 2017, 2018 season, right?
That wasn't last year.
Yeah. 2017,
18?
2018. Or was it 2018, 2019?
I think so because this one's 1920.
Yeah, yeah.
So was it 2018, 2019? Okay, sorry about that.
Just here.
No, you're right.
It's
But anyways.
May
No, you're right. You're right.
2019.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
2018,
Was the-
2019.
You're right.
Ajax kind of reminded me of
They
the
should have went to the
Barca.
final.
They kind of reminded me of the Barcelona of Pep Guardiola.
They should have went to the final.
I mean, it was beautiful soccer. They eliminated Real Madrid beautifully. It was like
You can't
5-2.
consider They should have went to the final.
And then they and then
If
they
you choke-
destroyed
if you choke,
You don't deserve.
Juventus.
Absolutely not.
Mm.
Because then we can go. You don't want to go there. Nah, we'll just
I want to
leave
go
at that.
there. I want to
We'll just
hear
leave
it.
at that.
Nah, don't do that.
Why not?
Don't do
This
that.
is what this channel is about, fellas. This is
'cause-
what this is what this is about.
Because I mean, Colombia looked amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
say-
shoot. Well, maybe we
I
should have.
said
Maybe
we
we
wanna
should
go.
have
I
gone
said we
there,
wanna go
Carlos. You're right.
they
Should have given
looked
me a little
amazing.
hint.
in the group stage.
Oh, that
They
one
did.
hurts.
So it's like
They
you,
did.
you can't just be like, oh yeah, they should have gone. No, if you choke, you
God
choke.
damn.
You choke, you shouldn't.
Mm.
That one hurt, by the
You
way.
deserve it.
That one hurt.
Nah, I agree. Look, I got nothing
Yeah.
to say. I agree.
No, you're right. Hey, they choked.
No, it's
I think Colombia. Now that we're
Because
talking
if you
about
want to
that.
see it, like, all right, like they were amazing. If they were amazing, they wouldn't have choked. Just like Ajax. If they weren't amazing,
No,
they
I feel
wouldn't
like
have.
Ajax
they.
played
No,
well,
no. I
man.
feel
But
like
they
Just got unlucky.
it's
They
still
did choke.
choke.
They did choke.
Did they
They're
actually
big-
hold on?
they
Did they
did.
actually choke? What was the second leg? What was the final score of that second leg? I don't have the stats with me right now. I know they won. They lost. Obviously, they lost to
Yeah.
Tot. But what was that? Didn't Luka Moda? I think he scored in the
Yeah,
last
hat-trick,
like
no?
20
He disrespected them.
Right,
I think
but-
he scored a hat trick.
He did
Right?
score.
Oh, he
Yeah,
did score
he
the
did
hat
score.
trick.
He did
Off the
disrespect-
bench.
I
Yeah.
don't know if it was off the bench.
Off the
but
bench.
yeah.
Off the bench,
Off the
right?
bench.
Wow, that's
He
crazy.
never really like. I think he started a few games for them, but yeah.
But
That's
wasn't
what they
I
did.
think what my thing is wasn't Ajax winning 2-0 I think at one
Mhm.
point they were up
Yeah.
by 2 goals.
They were
Yeah.
So the
2-0,
thing
they put
is,
him
I guess you could say they choked because
No,
it's
they
like a.
did.
in. One player.
But
'cause
how
if you
many
see-
times? That's the thing. How many times have we actually seen that? You know that scoreline is actually the worst for a team.
Right.
If you're winning 2-0, you kind of get that whole sense of like
Confident feel.
confidence
Barca
feeling.
knows about that.
But
Yeah, that's another
this is what I
dagger in
mean.
the heart.
Right, but this is what I mean. Like
Biscards, hijueputas.
they had never been in that position. They had never been in that position, and they had never been that far. It was like a Cinderella story.
Ajax or Barca?
Ajax.
Oh, okay.
It was like a Cinderella story.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah,
think
total
like,
opposite goes for Barcelona.
it's a choke.
That was not a Cinderella story.
I like them. I like them a lot less.
No,
Who, Ajax?
That's not. That's
not bad.
it. Doesn't
It
take
doesn't
away.
matter, right?
It doesn't take. No, it doesn't take. I'm not
Are-
taking anything away from them.
Are they in the Champions League?
Yeah,
They are.
that's
right?
one thing. That's one thing. That's why
they're not
I
gonna
think
do
that's
it,
why
though.
players leave Ajax. Because, for
Unfortunately.
example, for them to get in the Champions League, they had to play the playoffs, even though they won the league and they got to the Final Four. You know, that's one of the sad things about it. Like, I feel like if they won their league, they should be in it, and especially if they got to the Final Four.
What do they look at when it comes to like who makes it?
I mean, obviously the big leagues already get like 2 or
That's
3
what it is,
teams
right?
guaranteed. Like for
So it's
example,
like the big
England
leagues.
gets 4 for sure,
Competition wise,
Spain gets
3,
3.
and then I think Germany gets 2 or 3.
Well, no, Spain gets 4.
Do they
Spain
get
gets 4. Yeah,
So
Spain, gets 4.
I
Spain
think
gets 4. England gets 4.
Germany gets 3.
Germany gets 4. No,
4 too?
Germany gets 3.
I don't know.
And France gets like 3.
But then after that, it's all the other like Belgium, Norway.
'Cause they
I
look
think
at
they
it
only
also-
get 2, dude. Belgium and all those other teams, they actually I think they get 1, and then the
Nah,
other
they
2.
don't.
No, and then the other 2 they like fight for 1 spot. So
No,
I think
that's what
there's
I'm
2
saying.
spots coming out of like Belgium and Netherlands.
No, Netherlands don't even have a guaranteed spot.
No, they don't. That's
That's-
why Ajax. That's why they really were that Cinderella story. That it's like
yeah.
they had to qualify. They had to play 3 teams to qualify or 2 teams to qualify.
Mm.
Then they got into the group stages, which they shut down pretty much. I think they ended up like
Everybody.
first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they just started killing teams left and right, and it's like
Until
I think they. What was that final? Liverpool. I think honestly,
Liverpool top?
I think Ajax could have given him a really
I think
good
it would
fight.
have been a better fight.
And I tell you guys why. Because I think honestly Liverpool won. They have a great team and everything, but I feel like Tot, if you look at their past several matchups, I think Liverpool is actually on top of them by a lot. Like
a ton, yeah.
so there, I think there's actually a mental issue with Tot trying to beat Liverpool.
right,
Not so much talent wise,
right.
just a mental issue.
Well, yeah.
Kind of like how it goes with Barcelona now, away
Oh.
from home in the Champions League. They
Right.
can't beat anybody right now,
Right.
away from home. Nobody.
Mm.
So it's like they have a mental blockage.
Well, it has also a lot to do with the fact that they play league-wise against each other.
Yeah.
You know what
so
I mean?
they
And then
already
they went
know
on
each
to-
other.
So
Right.
Ajax doesn't really play against these teams.
No, that's what I'm saying. So
league-wise.
Ajax
Yeah.
wouldn't have.
So it's
they would have. They
yeah.
wouldn't have come out like,
right,
oh, let me just kind of hold back and,
Yeah,
and
like
try to
respect
respect.
them.
right.
Try to respect Liverpool. They would have gone with everything, and they might have actually won that thing.
Right.
I think.
I think
Which would have been really nice.
But my Brazilian
I
guys
was-
disrespect.
Yeah, I was
He
upset
got
to see Liverpool win
That
after
was a
that
good
whole
hat-trick.
Nah, I
debacle.
was happy for him.
That was a good hat trick.
He's a good player.
He did kill it.
He just has.
I think
he has had a tough
Who?
career.
Who's this?
Luka Moura.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. No, he's a
When he
good
was
player.
in
He's
When
always
he was
always
playing
been a
for
good
PSG,
player.
played
He was on the
at
bench,
PSG.
and it was
Yeah.
tough. It was tough for him. So
Yeah, it
I
was.
mean, it's tough.
I'm
I
happy
feel like
for
he's.
him now.
I feel like he
Who's in
doesn't.
I
his
think he's
spot?
gonna get more love now.
Son is in his spot.
I mean, Son is a monster.
He's a beast.
In his spot where?
Like, what position does he play?
Right now, well, he started today, and he was on the attacking. He was on the left side.
That's Son.
Son was in the middle.
So they moved him. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
to the
My
middle.
boy,
Yeah.
behind the
So he
scenes,
was-
doing everything
he was
over
on the
there.
left side.
I
So
think
he
he should
started.
start.
Yeah, he started him.
I like him.
I like him coming
I think
off the
that'd be a
bench as
good.
well because
because he's quick.
he's an animal. He
But I
gives you
think-
that 30 minutes like
And then, yeah.
non-stop
I
running.
think it'd be nice having him, Harry Kane, and Son,
Yeah, yeah.
and then
That's a player that I really like.
and then
Son is a good.
Dele Ali, Eriksson, and James behind them.
Erickson was on the bench. He's probably on his way out.
I would have
They
given
should sign
anything.
James.
I would have given anything to see James sign for Atletico Madrid.
Mhm.
Oh man, that would have been their best signing,
My boy.
probably in club history. Maybe not quite that
Mhm.
much, but
That would have been a good
no,
signing.
Falcao was one of the best. No, they've
I mean,
had
he
that.
killed-
Atletico
They
Madrid
always
has
had
always
good
had.
strikers.
good
Falcao was the
strikers.
best signing for Menu.
He didn't do anything, I mean.
No.
I think honestly,
He
I don't. No,
collected
no,
a
hold on,
paycheck.
hold on. Yeah, I think you know what. To go into Man U, because we talk about Barca and this and that, but I think Man U. Honestly, I'm starting to think that it's the club, that just Man U in general. I don't think it's the player.
100% the club.
I don't think it's the player,
100%.
because
I've
you could have a
been
great
said-
player that puts on that jersey,
Yeah.
and it's like shoot, like they just threw him in quicksand, and they're just like,
You know what I think would be a good business for them?
to
Is
sell everybody.
No. Oh, for sure.
to sell the
No.
club.
Is if they,
Got relegated.
if they get this last coach, was it Pacino? Or-
Pochetti.
Oh,
If they
Whatever his
Pochettino.
name is,
You know
Pochettino.
what?
That'd be good.
I
Who's their
think that would
coach
be
right now?
smart.
That dude.
Solskjaer.
Yeah.
Is that the guy that they were linking to Barcelona? No.
No, what?
Oh no, definitely
No.
not.
No. Oh no, that's the coach from Netherlands.
Who? Oh, that
Yeah.
Ajax coach.
No,
Who
the
is
one
the
for
Ajax
the
coach
coach
as
for
well?
Netherlands. They're actually
I don't know
the
who that
national
is.
team of Netherlands.
Who is it? I don't know.
I don't have it with me right now, but
I mean, they're also linking. What's his name? If they get him, I think that would be a good. It'll be a business wise. It'll be very smart.
so
It'd
they
be a
get
good
him.
fit. I think
Because
it would be
think about it, then that rivalry between the Spurs against Man
Manchester
U
United would be
amazing.
ignited.
And I think he'll put the fire under the players.
You know what's crazy though? That we're doing bad, and if we win tomorrow, we'll be in sixth place.
Are you even watching him? Because I haven't. I know you're like one of the biggest
they
Man.
still show it on
I know
TV.
you're one of the biggest Man United fans, and I haven't like heard you say anything about them in the past.
Because
few
they're not
months.
It's a
relevant.
silence.
Like
They're irrelevant, right?
yeah. They don't even show it on TV. I think like when they show just the highlights,
It's a silence.
they still like
They're gonna pick it
they
up, though, right?
record the games.
Oh.
They have a stadium still.
My God.
Oh my
So no,
God.
but jokes aside though. So you're saying that if they win tomorrow, what's gonna happen?
Go to sixth place.
Really?
Yeah.
So they'll be in the Europa League.
Mm.
That's not bad.
I mean, it's bad because then they go to.
I mean,
it
once you get
and they
used to that,
spanked.
it's like whatever. But anyways,
Like, what's the point of going to it if they're gonna get trash?
If we're gonna get,
I'm not gonna lie, actually. I don't hate them, but I do want to see Man United like top four. I think it should be Liverpool, Man City, Man United, and
Chelsea.
I think Chelsea. I think those are like the top four
Chelsea
that are always like right there. And then you have Tot. What are the couple teams you can throw in
Leicester
there?
City is killing it.
Yeah, but we've seen that movie play out before.
But they're in second place.
No, they are. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from them.
They did the same thing that the Spurs just did. They
sacked
got
their
rid
coach.
of the coach.
Did they?
When was this?
'cause-
Not recently.
Leicester.
No, yeah. He won the league.
He won the league,
Oh, yeah,
for
I know.
them.
got them
And
into the
next-
Champions League.
And then the next season, they started off really bad,
And
and,
then
they
got
sacked
rid
him.
of
He got them into the Champions League.
Yeah.
Oh well, how about this? How about Marcelino, the coach for Valencia?
Yeah.
How about he beat Barcelona in the Copa del Rey final? Right, he beat them. He
Yeah.
got them into the Champions. He gave them a Champions League spot.
Right.
Right, very competitive. He took control of that team when they were actually like towards the bottom half of the table.
Yeah.
So listen to this. Bottom half of the table, Valencia, put them back to where they belong. They finished like fourth. They go into the Copa del Rey. They beat them, playing well, not on some lucky stuff. And then guess what? Starting this season, he gets sacked.
Yeah.
And they asked like why, and I think it goes down to like he had an issue with the president of Valencia. Yeah,
That's crazy.
again we go into the
I
whole
think
politics thing,
right.
and then the players actually didn't want to play a couple games because they're like, what
Yeah.
what just happened? Like we
Yeah.
can't believe this.
I think that's what we're gonna start hearing about the Spurs. Like that's why they got rid of him.
Yeah.
What do you
I
mean
heard-
with Mourinho?
No,
No,
with
Pochettino.
Yeah,
I think so.
I heard
yeah,
some
probably.
stuff that it was like I don't know. You don't know if it's
But
true
listen,
or
the
not.
thing is like if you're not, well, the difference with them is like he's not. I don't think he was performing. Was he actually performing? I haven't been watching their games.
They
but
weren't doing great, but I mean, he got them to the Champions League
ninth
last year, yeah, but
ninth
you can't
place. But, like,
keep focusing on last year. Now it's like this is New Year.
I mean, you kind of can if you build.
no, I mean
like,
if you
his project, what he has been the coach for like 3 years,
Right.
You know, 3 or 4
if he had a good
years.
project going, I'm not
His
gonna lie.
project, they made it to the finals
Right.
of the Champions League, not any finals, the finals
Right.
of the Champions League. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like he's still building, but I think what they dislike was that instead of him changing the team up, sort of,
He
and,
kinda
like,
just-
making-
he kinda just- he stayed with the
he
same
has
team.
stayed with the same team for the past 4 years,
Right.
which is a good thing, but it could be a bad thing.
Yeah,
It's a
it
bad
could-
thing.
like
It's a bad
defense-
thing because he catches up to you.
At least defense wise,
no, you
can't
have
do
to
that.
step it up. You got to step it up
change.
100%. You
Yeah,
got to throw at
have
least
to
one
get-
kid in there.
Look at Liverpool.
Or 2 kids in there.
Look at how Liverpool did.
Look up.
Liverpool is the definition of that.
Yeah.
Once they got the center
Yeah.
back, because that was the piece that they needed.
Right.
They needed a center back and
They
a
started
goalie.
killing
Right.
it. Yeah.
Once they got the
Started
center
killing
back
it.
that they needed and the goalie, they
Right.
won the Champions League.
Yeah. A lot
So
of
that
times
right
in that,
there.
a lot of times
Yeah.
in those tournaments that, well,
Yeah.
that tournament, which is the main tournament in
Mhm.
Europe,
Right.
the Champions League, defense
Yeah.
wins ball. Defense wins ball
Which-
games.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it does. You have
Exactly.
terrible defense. It's like you're not going anywhere.
Yep.
But yeah.
All right, guys. So I think we're gonna head on
We're
off.
gonna wrap
We're
it
gonna
up.
Watch the Libertad.
We're gonna have a
Copa.
couple. We're gonna have a couple
And-
drinks and enjoy the rest of the Saturday evening.
Yeah,